Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm NFX and today we're at Mosport Karting Centre in Bowmanville, Ontario. So today we're at the MTCC. What does that stand for? I'm not very sure. But I have it written down right here, which is the Mosport Trophy Cup Challenge. And funny enough, this is the very first time I've ever been to Mosport or even set foot on this racetrack. So bear with me as you watch me try to do my free practice right here. And funny enough, because this is a special event that happens once in a while, the same session you do practice is the same session you do qualifying. And for the qualifying lap, I was able to do a 1:25.4, which in hindsight, compared to other drivers on the track, is not very good, right? But I would say it's a good benchmark for future, cases. But this is such a unique experience. This is actually the second arrive and drive track that I've actually signed up for. So this is brand new to me in terms of racing here. But also the experience itself. Like, these karts are very different from other karts like Goodwood that I usually race on. Obviously different from things like K1. But some of the things that I really noticed that were a little bit more unique is that this kart actually has a lot of adjustability. So not only do you get the standard move your seat up, move your seat back, but also the steering position goes up and down depending on how you actually like to race the kart itself. So I found that really unique. Something that caught me off guard is that they started adding weights to my kart as I was sat there getting ready to go out. And this is something called weight equalization. And they do this so the field is a little bit more balanced in terms of weight categories. Sometimes in other tracks, in this track, you might be racing with people that are a lot heavier than you, a lot lighter than you. So adding extra weight will kind of balance the field in terms of weight categories. So I found that completely awesome, something that I haven't seen at, for example, Goodwood before, but definitely a good experience because there's somewhat balance between the different racers. Now, since this is a unique event, there's actually a practice, qualifying, and then pre-final, which will determine where you sit on the final. So this is the very first time we go racing here at Mosport Karting Centre, and the green flags are out. I'm starting P11, so not a great way to start, definitely towards the back of the field. There's about 14 people in this race category today, so have nothing to lose. I think it's an opportunity to try something new and see how I do compared to some of these racers that have been here more seasonally. There, I do try to tuck it on the curb here, but immediately I just lose all the momentum going down into this straight. I'm able to hold my position in P11, and you can see someone was trying to take a dive, trying to go a little bit defensive here and just completely go on the outside and immediately losing 1, 2, 3 positions all in one corner. Definitely my mistake, trying to play too much when it comes to driving these corners. So I get cut off here. I am in dead last, so at this point I have nothing to lose. Something I find really unique about this racetrack is two main things. I think the slipstream effect at this racetrack is very apparent, and as soon as you kind of get out of that slipstream, you do tend to lose a little bit more time. You saw there just now I was behind them, and then as soon as I take a less optimal line, I kind of lose that momentum. And I feel like this track, number 2, is all about momentum and pushing forward, right? Of course, momentum is a big part of karting. I would say Goodwood more so. There's a lot of corners and a lot of quick corners, whereas this is a lot of straights and trying to keep those RPMs up pretty much the whole entire race. Something that, when I was racing, I started, realizing and figuring out that that was the case with this racetrack here. Out into this corner, I just take too much speed, and like I said before, those mistakes, especially if they add up, just open the opportunity for other racers to come in and just capitalize on it immediately here. Going into this hairpin, I go super deep and super late on the brakes, optimizing my corner and hopefully getting a position and making myself back up to P13. So there's about 2 laps left in this race. It's very, very short. The final race is actually 2 laps longer, but at this point I'm just trying to see if there's an opportunity to catch up with the pack ahead. I can see there's about 5 drivers that are just squished together, so this is my opportunity to get closer to them and play catch up. So I'm just going to skip right through to the beginning of lap number 3. just so we can move this along because I don't think anything happens. Okay, now we're beginning lap number 3. I'm still very much behind in the pack, but guess what? They are holding themselves up and just giving me more of that opportunity to catch up to them here. If you made it this far and you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. It means a whole ton. Please support the channel as I'm trying to grow very rapidly, and I hope to bring more and more racing content to YouTube. Now back to the racing. You can see I'm building so much more momentum coming into this hairpin. I swerve to the right, getting the inside line into this hairpin, going slower. They try to cut back in, but I'm able to gain the position and move up into P12. Let's go. Now I see these two ahead are battling, so this is my opportunity to capitalize on their little scuffle here. We see a little bit of dirt being kicked off here, and now I'm right on the tail of P11, and I'm thinking maybe there's an opportunity into the S curves that are approaching here. So I decide to follow my own line here, going on the outside, using the person on the right as reference. They're kind of battling it out. I'm just waiting to see if something happens, being very patient, and I'm able to go on the outside here, hold it in, and make my way outside of P11. Putting my head down, using that human DRS to my advantage, and the last lap sign is out. Currently sitting in P11. This is the best result of the race so far, and I'm just gaining and gaining onto P10, seeing if there's an opportunity here. I go so wide, just bringing in too much speed into that corner, not using my brakes enough, taking a lot of curb into entry. I'm looking to my right, I see the driver. I then look to my left, I see a driver, and I go, oh my god, should I defend, should I go on the outside? And just too much thinking, and I just shoot it super wide. P12 is able to get that position back, and P13 is right on my tail. I'm trying to push them to the very edge here, and they're just able to send it on the outside so much better, taking so much curb into that. And just like that, a couple mistakes and you can lose so many positions so quickly on this track. So unfortunately, back in P13, not the best result, but exactly where I started in the race. Now just finishing up, I'm seeing if there's one last move to make. I just find my outer wheels on the grass and just overshoot it, and that is that. Going into the final corner here, bringing it home, and the checkered flags are out. So not a great result, but fun enough. There's a couple overtaking opportunities that I did and can't complain. So starting the final race in P13, obviously not ideal, but the green flags are out and we are off to racing for the last time today. Going into the first corner, everyone is bunched up. I tried to take a suboptimal line, but staying behind, seeing if there's a position to be made on the outside. I try to go a bit on the outside. P14 is just finding so much more room, but luckily I'm able to find the inside line here, taking a little bit of curb, but losing that momentum going into this hairpin. And now guys, I am dead last, which is obviously not where you want to be. I take the outside line here. I see that the two are fighting ahead, and I just take the under over and able to make two positions in one corner here. But unfortunately, going into this next left-hander, I lose position as he has the inside line. Me trying to hold it out on the outside, but really cool overtake nonetheless, guys. Sometimes it's not even worth fighting and just watching and waiting for people ahead of you to make the mistakes. So able to gain a position there and then lose it, so sucks, but it is what it is. Losing that momentum here, we just see so much. So I do the same thing. I wait to see if there's any mistakes being made, and I just wait and see an opportunity to close the gap and make up another position. Now just going down the start finish straight here, I am bump drafting the person ahead. I try to go for the outside move just so I can build more momentum into this corner, and I just tap him a little too hard, giving him that extra push to attack the people ahead. So here I see these three drivers ahead of me kind of battling it out. The two that are in front are a little bit further. I'm thinking maybe I can get a little bit of a run on this guy right ahead. I tried to dive on the inside, thinking and maybe giving the illusion I might dive bomb, and unfortunately, because I'm too fixated on the driver ahead, I lose position immediately and miss my braking point. Now, I know, completely my mistake, and what's really fun and interesting about this track is that if you do make those mistakes, it is very unforgiving, and there's always going to be someone to capitalize on those small mistakes. But just scrolling through, I just wanted to get through this portion because nothing really happens. I'm not building enough speed. I'm staying relatively consistent with the drivers ahead, and then down into this hairpin, I have a little bit of a jump scare. The driver ahead of me here goes to the hairpin and just finds himself losing control there and almost rolling back, and I just had to take a little bit of avoiding action, but luckily I'm able to gain the position and stay in P12. Other than that, that was the last overtake that I had for the rest of the session, but I would say that I am definitely going to be back at Mosport Karting Centre for another one of these track days. I really enjoyed this day, particularly because we had the full track, which I know for the regular arrive and drive dates, they don't usually open up this whole back side. So yeah, it was great to be a part of this and racing at a new track. I think the layout of the track is really nice. The width of the track is amazing. The elevation changes, the karts themselves, I think just a very new and unique experience that I think anyone that lives in the Toronto area should try out. And 100% I will be back for another race and hopefully be a little bit more competitive next time. But I just want to say thanks so much for watching. I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. If you have any tips or tricks, feedback on my racing, feel free to leave in the comments. For this track, it is brand new to me, so any feedback is good feedback. Really don't mind. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.